In one of my previous videos, I discussed how a network connection only needs 4 wires to operate. Now, that actually brings up an interesting question is, well, if there's 8 wires in a network cable and we only need 4 to generate a 100 meg network connection, can we run 2 network connections on a single network cable? The answer is absolutely yes. And this is actually a very useful tool in certain circumstances. You can see I've actually wired this network cable as 2 100 meg connections. And this can actually support 2 100 meg connections if correctly handled and wired. Now, why would you need this? I mean, you could say to yourself, well, if I've got one connection, I could just put a switch on that connection and get multiple connections from that one cable. Yes, you can. However, there are very important circumstances where a switch is not the solution to the problem. For instance, at my parents-in-law's house, their cable provider actually, all the cable boxes are actually powered by a Cat5 connection. And so in their bedroom, they only have one hardwired connection in the bedroom, but they need data, and they also want their television signal, obviously. And so in their bedroom, their bedroom is wired like this, where the single incoming line is split. One goes to the television box and one goes for data to their computer. And the reason that's important and why a switch wouldn't work is their cable provider, the cable connection is actually a proprietary data connection that doesn't run through the main network and through the main switch. So this is a proprietary video connection, and this is the regular data connection. And so we couldn't just use a switch to split the signal to data and to the television. So this is how it is done in their house. It is split, and one runs back to the TV master box, and then one runs to their data switch. Now, how do we do this in actual practice? Well, effectively, you need 2 of these splits. And then you join them Let's pretend that this white cable is the cable that runs through the wall. So this is, say, in the bedroom, and it comes out the wall, and here we split it into 2 connections. This side runs back to the data closet, and here is the network connection coming back into the data closet. We cannot just plug this into the network switch. Because we've done custom wiring on this end, this wiring will not just go into a network switch and provide internet to both of these connections. We need to split this connection in the data closet back into 2 wires, and then both of these could be plugged into the network switch, or one into, say, the cable box and one into the television box. Whatever reason that you need 2 network connections, you have to resplit the connection in the data closet. So here would be the incoming, here would be in the data closet the line to the bedroom, and then I would plug an adapter like this and resplit it. And now what we have effectively is 2 matching pairs of network connections. And this communicates with this, and this communicates with this. So that is how you do it in practice. Now, what is the wiring? Well, I showed in my previous video how to wire a 4-pin network plug. If you're looking from the bottom here with the gold contacts, it's dashed orange, solid orange, dashed green, and then over on the 6th pin is solid green. Okay, that's how you wire one of the plugs. The other plug, you do the same thing, just pretend that brown is orange and pretend that blue is green. So this one here is dashed brown, solid brown, dashed blue, and then over on the 6th pin, solid blue. So now you have, so now you've turned one network connection into two, network connections through the wall. Now, the one use case that I actually use this in my own home is for a mesh router setup. And a lot of people screw up their mesh network. And let me explain. In the data closet, most people have their cable coming in here, and you'll have a cable modem. Okay, the cable modem comes into the data closet. The cable comes into the cable closet and goes into a cable modem. The cable modem will output one internet line, and that needs to go into a router. Okay? The problem is, if you have a mesh network, normally you get like a base station for your mesh network, which is your router. So a lot of people put the base station for the mesh network in the data closet because that's where the cable modem is, and they need to connect the cable modem to the router. So a lot of people put the base station in the data closet. Terrible. Especially with a mesh network, the base station is incredibly important to distribute the wireless around your household. And so if this is in the closet, you've already set your mesh network up for failure. Ideally, this needs to be sort of the base station should be in a central location in your house, maybe in the living room, somewhere open, where it can easily broadcast its signal out to the other base station, into the other, satellite stations. So if we want to get so let's assume that we want to put this in the living room. And let's assume we only have one data port. Okay. We can run the cable modem into the data closet, out here, and into the base station. Okay. That'll work great. Now we have our main base station in our living room, and it's powering the house, and the router is in a nice central location. Everything's great. There's only one problem with this. Now we have no way of having a wired network in our house because the output of the base station for the mesh network, the output of the router, needs to go back to the data closet to go off to the bedrooms and the study and all the other places where you need a wired connection. So we have if we only have one data line in our living room where we set up this router, now we have no way to send the signal back. But we do if we split the connection. If one leg of the connection goes as the input into the router and the other leg goes back to the data closet as the return line, now we will have a live internet connection coming back from the router into the data closet. We can then put a big switch in the data closet, and then every other room can connect into that switch. And so the signal runs cable modem out to the living room, through the router, back from the living room, back into the data closet, into a switch, and out to all the various bedrooms. It seems a little complicated, but it's, getting your base station and your router out of the data closet and into a central location is key to good Wi-Fi performance, and too many people stick their router in their data closet just because that's where the wires So if you only have one network, one network line running to a bedroom, you can easily split it and turn it into and turn it into two lines and use it as needed. I'm actually going to now demonstrate that this does work. So let me go set this up and I'll show you the setup and I'll demonstrate it. Okay, here is the test rig. You can see I have the single cable with the two plugs coming off, both going into my switch. So each one of these is now acting as a separate network line that runs through this single cable here, through the white one. Remember, pretend the white one is the wire in the wall, and then it comes out on the other side. And you can see right now Ethernet is not connected. I have the one plug plugged into the laptop, and now we will plug plug that in. Come over here. Ethernet not connected. Not connected. Connected. There we go. Connected. See, that single plug is now, so that plug is now running through the wire up into the network switch there. Now let's try the other plug. See here, we are still connected. Let's disconnect that. Okay, plug in the other plug. Hate these laptop ports. Okay, so now the other plug is plugged in. Come over here, not connected, connected. Okay, so now the other plug is connected and all the way up to my network switch. So these two lines are acting as two independent network connections, or two independent lines running through the single wire. Just remember your color codes over here. Let me unplug it and remind you. On this plug from the bottom, it is striped let me focus here. It is striped orange, striped green, solid green, and the solid green is actually on pin 6. And on this one here, it is striped brown, striped blue, and then solid blue is on pin 6.